Hello kings and queens, and welcome back to The Art of Life and Love. My name is Joanna, and this is an extension of my creative writing and wellness blog, also called The Art of Life and Love. I'll put a link to it down below, along with links to my social media channels, so you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. This is a continuation of my 2020 lessons series. So basically, we're coming to the end of 2020. It's been a wild ride, right? And I've been through quite a lot. And I thought that I would share some of the lessons that I've learned, some of the valuable lessons that I think will really, really help you out in your own lives in this 6-part series. Thank you to everyone who has watched so far. Thank you to everyone who's given me that thumbs up, who has commented, who has engaged with me. I appreciate all of you, and I'm so excited for what the new year's going to bring. If you've missed my previous videos in the series, I will put links to them down below as well so that you can catch up. But this week I will be going over another 5 lessons that I have learned in 2020. So the first lesson that I want to get into this week is that your body is a temple. Now this is a phrase that we've heard countless times. We hear it all the time. Your body is a temple, your body is a temple. What does it really mean? Well, what is a temple? A temple is a holy place in which you go to worship. There are often restrictions about what can enter this sacred place, what you can do in this sacred place, and how you look after this sacred place. And most of those factors also apply to our body. Our body is a sacred temple. It is literally the only body that you have in this lifetime. So you need to treat it how you would treat a sacred temple. You need to put the right things into it in terms of nutrition. You need to look after yourself by exercising, drinking enough water, moving, trying to get your body to its optimal state. You need to look after yourself. You need to have restrictions on what enters it. And that also means who enters it. So no, I'm not here to come on this channel and, say to you, no sex before marriage or blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying to you, you need to be careful about who you let inside you. Because I do believe that sex is a sacred act. Not in the religious way, not in a way, it produces life or anything like that. But simply because your body is a temple, your body is special, it is a sacred place. And if you're looking after it in every other way that you can, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, but you're allowing people with dark energy, with evil intentions, with toxic behaviors, traits, triggers, with bad spiritual energy to enter you, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to be careful about who you are having sex with, just as much as you need to be careful about what you're putting into your body. If you're lactose intolerant, you know that you can't have dairy, even though it's delicious. You know that you can't have it. The same kind of goes for toxic guys. We know they're toxic. We know that they're full of negative, toxic masculinity. We know that they have really bad views of women, that they use women and toss them away, that they don't care about you, they don't trust you, they don't actually want anything more from you. So why are you letting them inside your body for momentary pleasure? This is something that I've had to really talk to myself about this year, about who that I let near me, who I let in my spaces, not even just sexually, but emotionally. I've had to learn that I am triggered by people who have bad spiritual energy or have bad energy. I'm an empath, so I can feel it. I can feel other people's emotions. I can feel it when something is not right. This goes back to one of my other lessons. You need to trust your gut. You need to trust that gut feeling when you're around people or in certain situations or environments that are not good for you. So that's lesson number 1. Your body is a temple and you need to take care of what you put into it. My second lesson for this week is that mental health is a chore. It's not fun looking after your mental health. It's not fun sitting there looking internally and kind of having to sort through your anxiety. discover your triggers, sort through your depression, exist in your depression. It's not fun. And looking after your mental health isn't fun either, but it's not supposed to be. For those of you who have seen Rick and Morty, the latest season, there is an episode in which a therapist is talking to Rick about why he finds going to therapy such a chore. And basically she says to him, it's the same kind of maintenance as brushing your teeth in the morning. It's super boring and just not fun to do at all, but it's a necessary part of your day. It's necessary for your oral hygiene to brush your teeth. But no one would ever say that it's exciting or that it's fulfilling. The same sort of thing applies to your mental health. Even though it's a little bit more fulfilling than brushing your teeth, it can still feel like a chore. But it is something that we need to do every day. You need to have mental health check-ins with yourself. You need to be taking care of your mental health. You need to be taking care of your spiritual and emotional health just as much as your physical health. But that's one lesson that I've learned this year. You can't neglect your mental health. Like I've said in my previous videos, everything is connected, and that includes your health. Your physical health is connected to your mental health, connected to your emotional health, connected to your spiritual health. It all works together. And if there's a single cog that is not working, or that is too rusty, then the whole thing will not work. The whole machine will not move. So even though mental health is a chore, it's a necessary chore, and it needs to become part of your daily routine. Not weekly, not monthly. You don't want to have a 3-month check-in on your mental health when you're, the pit of despair, the pit of depression, when you have to literally unclog yourself because you haven't looked after your mental health for so long. You need to try and do it daily. Even if that's a daily 5-minute check-in with yourself to see how you're feeling. Even if that's a 2-minute meditation as you're standing in the queue for Costa, about to order a muffin. You need to incorporate mental health care into your daily routine. You need to treat it as a necessary chore, just like brushing your hair, creaming your skin, or brushing your teeth. The third lesson that I've had to learn this year is a very painful lesson, actually. And it's one that I kind of wished I hadn't needed to have learned in such a harsh way. But it's basically that blood is not thicker than water. And don't ever let anyone tell you that it is. I'm of the belief that we get to choose our family. Just because I was born into a certain family does not mean that I have to associate myself with that family. Just because we share the same DNA, the same genetics, does not mean that I need to sacrifice my own well-being to keep you in my life. And that is something that you really need to take on board, because we all have toxic family members, every single one of us. You could have the most brilliant upbringing, your parents are amazing, but you have that one uncle who just spouts racist shit at the dinner table every Christmas. And it's okay to not associate yourself with that man. But for some of us, it goes a lot deeper. Some of us, it's our very, very close family members. This year I've had to, learn the hard way that I come to rely more on my friends than I do on my own family. My own friends are the ones that are more likely to support me, reach out to me, understand me, love me than my family members. And that's not to say that my family members don't love me, but it just means that you don't need to keep toxic people in your life simply because they are family. And that's a huge, huge misconception, and something that, toxic family members will try and drum into you. How can you do this to me? I'm your mother. How can you do this to me? I'm your father. You have to come and do this for me because I'm your sister, because we're blood. You have to put up with my shit because we're family. No, I don't. I don't need you in my life. I get to choose my family. I get to choose my family. I get to choose who I surround myself with. And that has been a huge, huge learning curve for me this year. And I hopefully that you can apply that to your same life. If you have toxic family members that you wish that you could, escape from in that kind of way, that you wish wouldn't guilt trip you by just using the fact that you have the same genetics. Apparently we have like 99% shared genome with Satsumas. So I don't really know why people love to keep the lie alive that just because you came out of someone's vagina that, you owe them everything. I didn't ask to be born. So yeah, blood is not thicker than water, and don't let anyone try and guilt trip you into thinking that it is. The fourth lesson that I have for you this week is that your weight does not define who you are. And in fact, there are so many more important things to worry about or to focus on than your weight. Now, yes, I'm an advocate for physical health, so I think that you should take care of yourself physically, but you should not be defining yourself by your outward appearance. You know, whether that's your skin color, whether that's your weight, whether that's the fact you have spots on your face or, you know, no arms. You know, you should not let anyone dictate who you are based on what you look like. And the biggest lesson that I've had to learn in terms of my physical health this year is that it's more important to take care of your internal physical health than it is to focus on your outward appearance. One of the reasons why that is more effective is because the reason you are doing something dictates how well you are going to do it. If you have a valid, true, in-depth reason, like I don't want my internal organs to be clogged with fat, I want to feel healthy, I don't want to smoke anymore because I want to be able to breathe when I'm walking upstairs. Like those are more important reasons than I want to get rid of my double chin, my spare tire, I want my thighs not to touch. Nah, who cares? You are not defined by your weight. You know, especially the scales. I've completely dissociated myself from the scales because they were depressing me. Every day, if you wake up and the first thing that you do is check your weight, imagine you put on a pound every day, or you don't move in weight every day. You're waking up and you're giving yourself a negative start. Whereas if you wake up in the morning and you say to yourself, how do I feel today? Do I feel better inside? That's a much better way to dictate your health, to determine your health, than just focusing solely on your weight. So please, kings and queens, move away from your scales. Stop judging yourself on the thing. Stop judging yourself on the person that you see in the mirror and start judging yourself on what you feel like inside. Switch your perspective so that you're focusing on your physical health for the right reasons and not for cosmetic reasons. And understand that you are an amazing person, whether you're twice the size of me or half the size of me. My fifth and final lesson for this week's sesh, and something that I've learned this year and taken straight to heart, is the fact that you can start over as many times as you like. Just because you stop doing something or potentially fail at doing something, it doesn't mean that you then have to stop doing that thing, especially if you really enjoy it, especially if it's something that you really want to do. You can start over as many times as you like. There are no mistakes. Everything happens for a reason. If you ask the older generation to look back on their lives and, you know, they will say to you, actually everything that happened was actually a weaving path. None of it was irrelevant. Everything has led me to the place where I am right now. Every part of my life has been a learning lesson. It has been a step on my journey. You can start over as many times as you like. Just because you think you have committed yourself to a certain path, or you think that you've chosen something that you actually regret, it doesn't mean that you need to stick with it. And it doesn't mean that if you don't stick with it, you're a failure. You are allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to pick up new things, new skills, new ideas, new perspectives, new dreams. You can have a dream and actually realize halfway towards that dream it's not your dream and go chase a different one. It's what life is for. It's what life's about. We weren't born on this earth in these bodies, in this timeline, just to pick one thing and do it. You're supposed to have several interests. You're supposed to be able to change your mind. Nothing that you do could ever be a mistake. You are not a failure if you change your mind. You're allowed to. It's a part of life. And a lot of the times, especially in people's careers, for example, you'll see that they transition sideways into things. It's more rare these days that someone is like, I want to be a doctor, and then vroom, they go through all the pathways and then they end up as doctors and they're fulfilled and amazing. A lot of the time you'll see people do degrees, for example, like myself, that they don't actually resonate with, and then they will sidestep into a different role, and from that role sidestep into something else and into something else. And in fact, those people with more varied interests will be more rounded, well-rounded individuals, because they will have picked up lots and lots of different transferable skills. They'll have met lots and lots of different people, like a wide variety of people. They won't have just had this one-track mind towards their goals. So what I'm saying is, like, just do you. If you want to start over, you can. And you can start over as many times as you like. This is your life. Do what you want with it. So those are my 5 lessons that I've learned from 2020. This is part of my 2020 series. There'll be a couple more videos coming before the end of the year. If you like what you saw today, then please go ahead and give me that thumbs up. Go ahead and comment down below on what your favorite one was. This has been a really, really fun series for me to film, because it means that I've, been able to reflect on my year of 2020 and pick out the good things, pick out the lessons that have helped me, that have aided me. And it's shown me that, despite the fact that I went through some pretty horrific situations this year, I've come out on the better end of it. And now I'm able to share with you guys the things that I've learned, and that you don't have to go through your own negative experiences in order to learn these things. If you start to apply, these lessons to your own life, then you will see an improvement in every aspect of your life. So if you'd like to get notifications when I release some more of these videos, more in the series, go ahead and press that subscribe button as well as the bell icon, and then you'll get notifications of when I release my videos every Tuesday. You can also go ahead and follow my social media links, which are down below. So you can follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, or on Pinterest if you like. I hope that you have enjoyed the video this week. I hope you're having an amazing mental health week, and I will see you next time. Bye.